Hey crew, what it do? What it do, friends? Come on in. Come on in, come on in. What's up, everybody? It has been a hot minute. It's been a hot minute. A hot minute. I can't even remember the last time that I was live with y'all. I can't even remember it. Y'all come on in. Share this when you come in. Drop something down below. Let me know who's in here tonight. Say what's up. Hey, Kamisha. How are you, friend? I see you killing the game. Killing the game, sis. A whole babe boss. I am so proud of you. When I come to Warren, I'm going to be in Warren. I'm going to be in Warren the end of December. Will you have tacos around anytime soon? Let me know. I want to know what's up. Hey, Trip. Hey, Diana. Hey, Sarah. I would love to come to Man of War. Hook me up. Hook a sister up. Let them know I'm booking. I'm booking. Yes. Then hook me up, Kamisha. I want tacos. You know that's my jam. If you don't know it's my jam, now you know it's my jam. I want to try because all your pictures look amazing. Y'all come on in. Hit share. Hit share. Say something to me down below so I can say what's up to you. You guys, let me know where you're tuning in from. I want to know where you're tuning in from. Hey, Cindy. Hey, Jessica. Hey, Diane. Hey, Kathy. Everybody jumping on. Hey, Tanis. Did I say that right? Tanis? Is that right? Abigail. What's up, everybody? This weekend's going to be off the chain. It's going to be off the chain. Listen, I just got through preparing, I just got through preparing my messages. Hey, Jessica. Amber, you're my girl. I see you in here. Yay. Okay, Tanis. Tanis is the way you say it. Okay, I'm going to remember that. Thank you. I had to put my Christmas decor up because it brings us joy and it's a Holt tradition. November 1st is where it's at for us. South Carolina's in the house. What's up? So I just got through preparing my messages for this weekend. I'm going to be in Douglas, Georgia. Oh gosh. They're going to kill me if I say their church name wrong. Tanis, please help me out. What's the church name? I feel like I'm going to say it wrong. So I'm not going to say it. You're going to type it down below because I'm not going to butcher it. Guys, I go to so many different churches. I forget all of the churches' names, but I just got through preparing Free Point Church. I was going to say 5 Point Church. So I was wrong. Free Point Church. I'm going to be there, Douglas, Georgia this weekend. Friday night, 7 p.m., Saturday morning, 10:30 a.m., and then Sunday morning, I'll be preaching Sunday morning as well. So you guys come check me out, hug my neck, come meet me, come see me. But most importantly, come and be in the presence of the Lord. Most importantly, it's not about me. I'm just a woman that happened to say yes to Jesus, and I share my journey and my life and my love for God. There's nothing special about me, but there's everything special about him. He is so good. His name is so good. He is such a faithful father. And I want you there. I want you there. If you're close to Douglas, Georgia, please. Guys, are we over the celebrity Christians? Are we over that yet? Because I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm over going to conferences and people knowing more about the celebrity Christian than they do know about Jesus. I'm over promoting things because of a person's name rather than the presence of a living God. I'm over going to these things and worshiping the person on the platform more than we worship the God that's in our heart. Like, I'm over it. I'm over it. It makes me sick to my stomach. I tell my crew all the time, like, Brandon and I had so many opportunities where we sat in so many green rooms with so many big names. And if I told you who they were, you'd be like, oh my gosh, I would love to meet them. And 90% of them are not who they portray themselves to be. And I hate to say that. And it's really sad. And it's disappointed me so many times. And I just am at a place in my walk with the Lord where everything I do not want it to be about Alyssa Holt or the Holts or what I do for a living. If it does not bring glory to Jesus, number one, then God sit me down. Sit me down, take my social media from me, take every ounce of following I have and throw it down the toilet, because I don't want it. I do not ever, I never want to be, I never want to be that person. I never want to be that person. It's not about me. It's not about me. It's not about me. It's all about him. And that's just how I feel. So I have not yet, Kamisha. I have not yet. So how's everybody doing? I wanted to come on here and just have a chat. If you have any questions for me, drop them below. Let's just do a nighttime chat. Why don't we? Let's just do a nighttime chat. You guys share this. South Dakota's in the house. What's up? Thank you. I'm loving the tree vibe too. It brings us lots of joy, and we needed lots of joy. We are coming into, you guys drop questions down below. If you have questions about anything, drop it below. And I'm going to, it is, right? It is. So I'm going to answer those. What was I going to say though? I was just trying to say something. I was just fixing to say something and I forgot. What was I going to say? Anybody from my crew on here? Do you know what I was just saying? Because y'all know I lose my train of thought sometimes. Hey, Kathy. I hope you're doing well. I've been praying for you. Joy. Thank you, Kamisha. So, you guys know Texas is in the house. That's home for me. We're at in Texas. Aw, thank you, Ellie. I appreciate that. So we needed joy. We are obviously coming into a season of firsts. You know, it's all the seasons of firsts. Like this whole year has been first of everything without Brandon. Fort Worth, yay. Done a lot of ministry in Fort Worth. Pennsylvania, what's up? That's awesome. McAllen, Texas. Hey. So yesterday we did family photos for the first time without Brandon. That was rough. That was a rough morning. Okay. It was a rough morning. Hey, Jennifer, how are you, girl? Boston, Massachusetts, Louisville, Kentucky. Listen, when we went to Louisville, we did some consulting for a church there for worship. And I kept saying Louisville. And they said, listen, Alyssa, if you're going to be, we lived there for a month, okay, in an Airbnb. They're like, listen, if you're going to be here, you cannot say Louisville. It's Louisville. It's Louisville. Bryceville, Florida's in the house. Virginia's in the house. What's up? North Carolina. So we did our family photos yesterday morning, and I had a rough morning. But then when we got there, we told our photographer who actually did our very last family photos with Brandon, and he did all of me and Brandon's last headshots. Louisville. It's not Louisville. We get made fun of that. We get made fun of for saying that, Kim. We can't do that. Anyway, when we showed up, I told the guy, I said, listen, this is not depressing. Atlanta, what's up? That's like home for us too. I said, this is not going to be depressing. This is going to be a moment to remember. Me and the girls' first family photos, commemorating the fact that we are alive. We have made it through fire and we're still standing. We may be burned a little bit, but we're not ashes. God has got us in his hands and he is faithful. I said, so let's make these family photos everything that they can be. We spent like an hour on family photos, and can I tell you something? Can I just testify with how good God is? Okay, I'm going to raise a glass, because if you don't know what it's like to lose a spouse and have those first family photos without your man, without the husband, without the father, without the head of your home, it's rough. And God is so good, because we literally laughed the entire time that we took those photos. From the moment we started till the moment that we ended, we laughed and we laughed and we laughed. I mean, God just covered us in grace in that moment and was like, listen, the joy of the Lord is your strength, sis. The joy of the Lord is your strength. You may be going through grief. You may be going through hell. You may be going through loss. It may look hard. It may feel awful, but the joy of the Lord is your strength. And that's exactly what it was yesterday morning when we took those family photos. We got all of them in today, and I just sat at Brandon's desk and I wept looking at those photos. Like, I wept. I'll probably be sharing a bunch of them on my page tomorrow, but I wept and I was like, God, you're good. You know, you're so good. You're so good. Like, I'm still breathing. I may felt like I'm suffocating from time to time, but I'm still breathing. I am still here. Like, you are faithful. You are such a good God. That's who my Jesus is. Like that. I don't know who your Jesus is. I told my crew this today, man. I broke down sobbing today. If you're not a part of the crew, hey from Texas, I'm looking here. Windsor, Ontario, what's up? Atlanta is probably 8 hours for me now that we're in Florida. It's about 8 hours for me. Just looking at y'all's comments, because I actually want to talk with y'all tonight. I'm so sorry, Nicole, that you lost your son. I am so, so sorry for that. And so I was just like, I was talking to my crew. You guys do me a favor and share this if you can. Share this if you will, because I'm going to encourage y'all tonight. And I believe that other people need to hear this live feed tonight. I believe that there's my crew right there. They're like, get in the crew. I believe that there's other people that need to be here. I'm going to be in Atlanta April 13th. I'm going to be in Canton, Georgia, which is like 30 minutes outside of Atlanta. So I'll be promoting all of that. Longview, Texas, what's up? So you guys share this, but I was talking to my crew today and I just broke down, guys. I'm with them every single day. We go live like this every day. Hey, Dale, we go live like this every single day. And well, there's a couple days a week that I take off, but, there's my crew there. So they're going to start, but, I broke down with them today and they see all of my vulnerable moments. So you guys don't see all of my grieving moments and my processing moments. I will have literally been in the shower sobbing my face off, but I know that the crew and I have intercession in an hour and I show up with a red face and I'm like, y'all, I'm struggling, but we're going to pray. We're not going to quit. We're not going to stop. We're going to keep on going. We're doing this thing. Pace, Florida, what's up? I know exactly where that is. Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. I'm a Rhema graduate, 2009, so I lived there for 2 years. You join the crew. Let me type that down below, actually. You can join the crew by going to my website right here. Uh-oh, I spelt it wrong, y'all. Look at this. Hey, Casey, can you type alyssaholt.com? Can you type join the crew alyssaholt.com so I can pin that comment? Anyway, today I broke down with them and I told them, I said, I don't know who your Jesus is. Wisconsin, what's up? I don't know who your Jesus is, but my Jesus, and I'm going to get emotional again. Here I go. I'm going to start crying. So you guys just watch out. My crew's used to it. My crew is used to me crying. There's my website down below. It's pinned. You can join the crew right there. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Stacy. I told them, I said, I don't know who your Jesus is, but my Jesus is the faithful Father that carries me through the darkest, most devastating moments of my life. Hey, Kendra, what's up? Dallas, Texas is in the house. And I'm just going to say a public, I'm going to say a public apology, okay? And this is where I'm going to get emotional. I did not want to cry. I'm going through it, y'all, so it's okay. We can cry through it together. I'm going to say a public apology to everybody on here. Whether you're live, whether you're watching the replay, whether it's a month from now, a week from now, whatever. I am sorry for disappearing over the last several months and not going live. I am sorry for not showing up anymore. It is not because I've not shown up, because my crew can attest I've not quit on them. I am with them every week, every day. We are teaching, we are interceding, we are going in over there, we're prophesying, we're doing the thing over there. But on my personal page, I want to say I'm sorry for not continuing to show up for y'all. I'm going to be honest with you. The Lord did not give me permission to not show up for y'all. The Lord did not give me permission to disappear. The Lord did not give me permission to shut up. The Lord did not give me permission to stop doing my prayer calls. The Lord did not give me permission to stay silent. The Lord didn't give me permission. I see all my crew is giving me hearts. I love y'all so much. The support is real. I love y'all. And can we be real? Can we be unfiltered? Because most of y'all that have followed me, y'all that have followed me, follow me for my book, Unfiltered, right? So can we be unfiltered? If you're good with me being unfiltered, give me a heart party. Like I say in the book, like I say every day with my crew, we're raising a glass to the dirt in our life because it is worth celebrating. The dirt in your life is worth celebrating. I love that. My crew already knows what's up there. Like, we're raising a glass. It's time to get real. Let's spill the tea. She's got her glass in her hand. It's time to spill the tea. Cheers. Okay, this is hard for me. So this is going to be hard. This is going to be hard. This is rough. Okay. Milo sweet tea in the air, sis. This has got water in it right now because I've had way too much coffee and I cut myself off. I appreciate that, Tara. Okay, this is where it gets real. I did not have permission to quit going live. I did not have permission to stop doing my prayer calls. The reason why I went silent, it's okay, sis. I love you and I know. It's okay. The reason why I went silent is because I'm trying to say this in a correct way. I'm so sorry, Grace. I am praying for you. I am praying for you. That is rough. I'm so sorry. I'm going to say it. I'm just going to say it. The Lord just told me to stop beating around the bush, Alyssa. Just say it. Okay, the reason why I went silent is because I allowed naysayers to be so mouthy about my healing process that I have overlooked the many that God has assigned me to appease the mouthy ones. I have literally overlooked the many that receive from my ministry and what God is doing and the strength that it is taking for me and my girls to pick ourselves up off of the ground and continue going and to continue doing what God has assigned us to be compromised because of the mouthy naysayers that have an opinion about the way that they believe I should grieve. And I'm just gonna be real with you. Like, can I be honest and like encourage you in your moment of despair? Okay. Because I always tell my crew, I'm not going to share my stories just to share my story. I'm sharing my story to encourage you in the midst of your story. My dirt is no different than your dirt. My pain is no different than your pain. My journey is no different than your journey. They take different detours. They take different steps. They take different strides. They may look different. The scenery may be different. But just because mine is different doesn't mean that yours isn't real. And just because yours is different doesn't mean mine isn't real. And I'm just here to tell you real quick. Let me just raise a glass to this, okay? Boom. It does not matter whether or not you are broken or whether or not you are healed. People are going to talk about you. If you're too broken, they're going to talk. If you're healed, they're going to talk. If you're navigating a season of grief with joy, they're going to talk. If you're navigating a season of grief without being able to shower for months, they're going to talk. If you're out winning the world for Jesus, they're going to find ways to say, yeah, but look at the way she's doing it. If you're sitting on your behind and ignoring your assignment, oh, well, we can't believe she's just ignoring. It does not matter what you do. People are going to talk. And this is what I'm going to tell you right now. I've learned this. I'm learning this. I'm repenting. I'm repenting to you and saying I am sorry for allowing noisy naysayers to compromise the assignment that God has given me for you. I believe that the Lord has placed me on this earth for a reason, for this season, on purpose, with purpose. I did not win cancer 2 times. I did not become a warrior over disease 2 times. I did not make it through losing my husband and navigating this journey the way that we have been because of Jesus, just for me to sit back and stay shut up because people would rather me stay broken and depressed than for me to be walking in my authority and my identity. And I'm just telling you something, just because I'm not a ball of emotions 24/7 does not mean that I do not miss my husband. It does not mean that I do not grieve my husband. You guys see this much of my life on social media. You aren't with me at 4 o'clock in the morning when I am having a panic attack and having to call my parents because I'm going to have to go to the ER because I feel like I'm having a heart attack. Literally have broken heart syndrome. And I feel like I'm having a heart attack. I am hyperventilating. I'm having to inhale the little, whatchamacallit, the thing that you breathe in, whatever it is. I don't even remember what it's called. Anyway, I'm over here like puffing on that because I can't breathe. I feel like I'm having a heart attack. I'm 34 years old. I'm sure I'm dying. Y'all don't see those moments. Inhaler. Thank you, Ashley. Inhaler. Y'all don't see those moments. My point is, grief can be a righteous thing or it can be a demonic thing. Depression is demonic, y'all. Sitting in self-hate, demonic. Sitting in the paralyzed fear of everybody's opinion, demonic. And the Lord spoke to me. The Lord spoke to me when I was, I love you too. The Lord spoke to me when I was, and it does, grief does look different for everyone, but, and I will say, I've learned this because me and my daughters, we all grieve differently. All three of us are grieving differently. But there is a difference between grieving in a way where you attach yourself to the loss of that person in such a way that you memorialize that person and you make them your God. That's when grief becomes demonic. Because that means you are attaching yourself to the loss in such a way that you're putting it above the God that you serve. Everything you do revolves around the loss of that person. Every choice you make revolves around the loss of that person. Every amount of laughter that you pass up revolves around the loss of that person. Every opportunity to continue living your life revolves around, and it becomes demonic because it keeps you paralyzed. It keeps you stuck. It keeps you stagnant. It keeps you complacent. It keeps you focusing on what used to be when you still got breath in your lungs and you've still got a heart in your chest and you've still got a word in your mouth. And you've still got a spirit that is just waiting to live out the purpose that God has for you to live. And God said, Alyssa, the forward motion is going to be the biggest gift that I give you right now. The forward motion. Not the forgetting. Not the letting go of, because I never will forget. Brandon Holt was my soulmate. Brandon Holt was my love. He was my soulmate. Like anybody who saw us interact, they knew like there was no other. Like we were the ultimate love story. Let me put it this way. When you navigate grief with Jesus, you're able to look fear and death in the face and laugh. When you navigate lack with Jesus, put your situation in there. When you navigate cancer with Jesus, when you navigate arthritis with Jesus, when you navigate diabetes with Jesus, when you navigate infertility with Jesus, when you navigate divorce with Jesus, when you, whatever it is, put it in there. When you navigate those things with Jesus, you are able to look it in the face and laugh because you know who your God is. You know what the end of the story says. You know that you win despite the thing that is trying to tell you that you've lost. You are not a loser in this circumstance, friend. And here's the deal. You know how you become a loser? When you victimize yourself. You want to know how you become a loser? When you victimize yourself to the thing that you are navigating. When you victimize, my daughter told me just yesterday, we were having our family photos. I told y'all that already. If you're jumping on, I did family photos for the first time yesterday without Brandon. And we laughed the entire time. We wore black and white. I wore a white t-shirt with black pants, and we wore white t-shirts and complemented it with black. And we got in the car after we were done. And I did not realize, hey, we chose black and white, and it's like new life after death. New life after death. And did not even realize we did that, right? And I'm sitting in the car and I'm like, girls, that was awesome. I said, Daddy B would have been so proud of us. We literally laughed the entire time, and it was our first family photos without him. We could have been an emotional wreck. We could have made this the most miserable experience ever. We could have literally just hated this day, but we laughed the whole time. And Kinsley said, Mama, you want to know something? I said, what? And she goes, if you lived in the olden days, she said, if you lived in the olden days, she said, as a widow, you would have been required to go into mourning for 2 solid years. And she said, and how people would know that you were in mourning because your husband had died is you would only be allowed to wear black every single day of your life for 2 solid years. And she said, and how people would know that you were coming out of mourning is that the last 6 months of your mourning period, you would be able to stop wearing black and you'd be able to start transitioning those colors to gray and lavender. She said, so everybody around you would know, oh, she's in mourning. She's a widow. She's the sad, sorry widow. Nobody can look at her. Nobody can really, mess with her. You just leave her alone. She's in mourning. Let her be. Let her sit in her depression. Let her be to herself. And then as soon as that 6 months comes out, oh, look, she's coming out of her mourning. Look at her. She's got that gray and that lavender on. And she said, how sad would that have been, Mom? She said, how sad would that have been? How sad would that have been if you were not allowed to live your life because Daddy B passed away? How sad would that have been if everybody around you recognized that you're in depression and grief as a widow because you're wearing black for 2 solid years and you're unable to wear any kind of color? And she's like, and look at us today. We did family photos and you're wearing a white shirt. She's like, that's one color they would not let you wear back in the olden days. And I said, you're right, babe. I said, you are. She's such a logical thinker, right? She's such a straightforward thinker. And I thought to myself, it's crazy because I have gotten messages from people, which is why I have gone silent and I have stopped sharing like I was sharing, not because I'm not living, not because God isn't doing great things, not because I'm not with my crew every day, because we are, and God is good and it's been awesome, but because some people have not been able to handle. How are you still going? But God. I have gotten, the more preaching videos I put out, the more singing videos I put out, the more content I put out, the most hateful messages I've ever gotten, the most hateful comments I've ever gotten, because people would rather see you broken than see you healed. And this is for you. Don't listen to the mouthy naysayers because you will miss the many that God has assigned you to. And let me just tell you, naysayers are noisy. They make a lot of noise, but that does not mean that there's more of them than the people that God has assigned you to. The enemy's really good at being real loud to distract you from the assignment. And I had a lot of people coming at me saying, Alyssa, we're worried about you. You're in denial. You're not grieving correctly. You're not processing this correctly. You need to slow down. You need to stop. How can I stop when God has been this good? How can I stop telling people about how good God is when I have made it out of cancer 2 times? How can I stop telling people about the goodness of God when me and my girls are still standing after losing the man that was here in this home, doing the thing with us, life with us? How can we shut up? How can we quit? Tell me why. Tell me why we should stop. When God has been this faithful to us, sis, when God has been this faithful to us, brother, when God has been this faithful to us, tell me why in God's green earth should we quit going? It is in your weakness that he proves his strength. It is not because I'm not grieving. It is not because I don't miss my husband. It is not because I am not dying on the inside without him. Many days. It is because it is in my weakness. He says that his grace is sufficient for me. In my weakness, it will be what shows me that I am strong. He doesn't say that his grace covers me in my strength. He says his grace covers me in my weakness. So you want to see a testimony of the goodness of God, friend? It's when you've been diagnosed with cancer and you shave your head and you still go live that night and worship. It's when you cut body parts off of your chest and you are still on live feed the very next week worshiping. It's when your husband dies and you stand on a stage and lead worship to 40,000 people online and still worship because God is too good to just quit. And this is where a bunch of people are going to get off because they don't know how to handle it. They don't know how to handle it. They quit when things get rough. They stop when it's not easy. They throw the towel in when the answer doesn't come like that. They do not know how to endure. The word says that your faith must be something that endures. It says you have to hold on to your confession of faith. It does not say it will come easy. It does not say that this is a walk in the park. He never promises you that you will not have suffering. He says to hold on and he will prove himself faithful. He said, in your weakness, I will prove myself to be strong in your life. He said, the joy of the Lord is your strength. So that's where I've been. This Sunday was Brandon's 7-month celebration of homegoing. And the Lord spoke to me about that. I don't say it's his 7-month death date. No, it's his 7-month celebration of going to be with Jesus. He is face to face with the man that I am waiting to be with. And when you shift your focus, friend, and you stop looking at death as a loss but a gain, Paul says, I love my life I don't even love my life even to the death, because to die is to gain. He said, to die is to gain because I'm with the Father. I will be more alive then than I am now, Paul said. Brandon is more alive than I am right now. So when I shifted my focus from what I've lost to what Brandon has gained, when I shifted my focus from, man, what I don't have into what he has and where I am longing and striving to go and be, it changed the dynamic of the way that I walked grief out. I didn't walk grief out. I haven't walked grief out in a way that is despair and agony. And have I had really bad moments? Yes, I have. Like I said, I've gone to the ER and I've almost gone to the ER multiple times because I thought I was having a heart attack. I've had hyperventilation. I've had very, very many sleepless nights. I lost 30 pounds in the first 2 months Brandon was gone because I couldn't eat anything without throwing up because I was so sick to my stomach. Yes, I've gone through a grief process. Yes, it's been hard and difficult. But the joy of the Lord is my strength because I do not grieve as the world grieves. Because I know where my husband is. And I want to apply that to you. Because maybe you haven't lost a person. Maybe you've lost a business. Maybe you've lost health. Maybe you've lost some mental peace. Maybe you've lost some rest. Maybe you've lost some freedom. Maybe you've lost some love for yourself. Maybe you've lost some relationships. What have you lost? I want you to stop thinking about what you've lost. And I want you to start thinking about what the Lord has done in your life through this season for you to gain. When I lost my breast, the Lord told me, I want you to look over the 3 years that you navigated cancer and I want you to thank me. What? Thank you. Thank you for chemo. Thank you for losing my hair. Thank you for literally being so sick that I felt my body dying. I woke up one night in the middle of the night, almost dead. My husband almost had to take me to the hospital. It was so bad. I was so sick on chemo. Thank you for going through 3 different surgeries and losing body parts. What are you talking about? Thank you. What are you talking about? Thank you. Thank you for this loss and disease. Like, what are you talking about? And God said, thank me. Thank me. Because you cannot change your thinking, T-H-I-N-K, until you change your thinking, T-H-A-N-K. You got to get your mouth right before you can get your mind right. You better open your mouth up, Alyssa, and start thanking me. Thank me for what you have. Thank me for what I've done. Thank me for what you've gained. What I've gained. Yes, what you've gained. What have you gained? I said, well, Father, I've gained extra life. I've gained confidence. I've gained the ability to get on live feed right now with not one stitch of makeup on my face and my hair. I have been going all day. I threw it up in a little clippy, and I don't care what you think. I used to not be that way. Before cancer, I would not get on here without a full face of 2-pound makeup, fake eyelashes, my hair perfectly done, and baby, you better not see me like this. I gained confidence. I gained the ability to know me and love Alyssa for who I am, that I do not care about what you have to say. I gained a ministry that I never would have had, because I never would have reached out to cancer patients if it weren't for cancer. I gained the ability to speak into disease because I had no validation. I had no experience. I had no qualification. That's the word. I had no qualification to speak on disease. I didn't know disease. There are things that you will gain in hardship, friend. Thank you, Tina. There are things you will gain in hardship that you will never gain in your comfy, cozy little life. And the enemy is so good at getting us distracted by the things that we've lost, and the hardship and the despair and the discomfort and the agony, that we don't even see the growth and the maturity and the strength and the clarity and the understanding and the confidence and the ability to say, I made it through that. I never thought I would. I said I didn't even know how I was going to make it. A month later, after Brandon died, I said, I don't even know how I'll make it till tomorrow. Here I am 7 months later, been traveling all over the nation, have finished my second book. I'm fixing to release a new project for you guys that you have no idea about. I've got a huge project under wraps right now. I've got major things going on. 7 months later, I am here. I am alive. I am seeing people get saved. I'm snatching souls out of the kingdom of hell, putting them into the kingdom of God, declaring that God is good. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that to toot my horn. I am a nobody. I will raise a glass to that 1,000 times over. Alyssa Holt is a nobody. She's not special. She's not nobody special. She's a woman that said yes. That said, I'm going to let you take all of the hell that I have been through, and I am going to trust you to use every bit of it and not to waste a thing. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care what it sounds like. I don't care how you get me there. But I promise you, God, if you will use it, I will use it for you. I will give it to you. I will preach it. I will sing it. I will write it. I will declare it. I will coach people through it. I will do whatever I got to do. I just made blessing bags for 100 chemo patients. Me and my kids are fixing to go deliver it to the chemo facility here in the next week. It's like, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure the hell in my life is not wasted. And my question to you is, what are you doing with the hell in your life? Is God good enough to redeem the thing that the enemy tried to do? Is he big enough to restore? I mean, my God, we say we believe this book, but we don't believe. Because then when somebody gets their healing, we want to judge their grief. When somebody's walking in a supernatural healing, we want to judge why they got their healing and this other person died from it. We don't believe this book half of the time, because if we did, we would actually be walking it out. We are believers that do not believe, and then we get angry at God because things aren't working out in our life. And God said, you have the authority. And God said, you have to speak. And God said, you have to believe. And God said, everything this word is hanging on is your belief system. Friend, you couldn't even accept Christ into your life if it were not for belief. Believing in your heart, confessing with your mouth. That is the two ingredients for everything this word says is yours. Belief in your heart, confessing with your mouth. Belief in your heart, confessing with your mouth. Belief in your heart, confessing with your mouth. So you are in depression. I have the joy of the Lord. So you are sick. I am the healed of God. So you just went through a broken moment. I am whole. I'm a whole woman. I'm not a broken woman. You have to believe it in your heart and you have to confess it with your mouth. If you are not receiving it, which of the two are you not doing? Because you can't just confess and spout a bunch of scriptures and not believe it and expect it to work. And you can't just believe it in your heart but never speak it and constantly just say all of the opposite things that contradict what you're trying to say you believe. They go hand in hand. They're a marriage. You have to believe, you have to speak. You put it hand in hand. It's the first thing you have to do for salvation. Believe in your heart and confess with your mouth. It is the thing that you have to do for faith. He said, speak to your mountain. Say to your mountain. He said, hold on to your confession of faith. Some of y'all are just confessing everything else that your faith, you don't got no faith. You don't have any faith. And you know what I've had to do? Can I just be real with you? I mean, I've already been real with you, so might as well, right? Raise a glass. Cheers again because I'm spilling the tea. Try to do this without crying. The first 2 months after Brandon passed away, I had the most horrific, demonic nightmares that you could possibly fathom. When I tell you demonic nightmares, I'm talking about the most demonic, tormenting, traumatic nightmares. And I'm talking about I didn't get no sleep. I'm talking about I had to call my doctors, my chemo doctors, I'm so sorry, Jennifer. It's horrible. I'm going to tell you how I got free and I want you to do it. Do you hear me? Because you can be free and you do not have to deal with that in Jesus' name. I had to call my doctors and I had to get sleeping pills because I could not sleep. I was up all hours of the night. Every time I closed my eyes, demonic attacks, PTSD. I not only had PTSD from the hospital from cancer, a 3-year cancer journey, but now I had it from my husband being in the hospital for 3 days and watching him die. It was horrific. It was horrific. And I woke up one night from the worst demonic dream that I had had. It was so bad that I could feel the presence in the room. When I woke up, I was shaking. I was sweating. My pillow was covered in tears. I was shaking. I could feel it. There was a heaviness in the room. It was demonic. And the Spirit of the Lord rose up inside of me and said, "Are you done?" And I said, "What are you talking about? This isn't something I've chose. This isn't something I wanted. I didn't want this. I didn't choose this. What are you talking about? Am I done? That's insulting." And God said, "You have the authority in your mouth." Since when does the word say that demonic things are more powerful than the Spirit of the living God that's inside of you? He said, "Are you done? Are you done submitting? Are you done sitting in this? Are you done attaching yourself to this spirit? Are you done just saying it's okay? Are you done being sleepless and restless and losing your peace over this? Are you done?" And something rose up inside of me and I said, "I am done. I'm done." And I got angry. And I stood up. And I mean, I'm telling you what, like, it hits me because it was so powerful. Like something shifted for me in this moment. I stood up out of that bed and I grabbed my Bible And I put it, I know this sounds stupid. I know this sounds so stupid, but I don't even care how stupid it sounds because it got me free and I never had one more nightmare. I have not had one nightmare since that night. It broke off of me and I've not had any more tormenting dreams since then. But I put my word on my head and I said, I am applying the word physically and spiritually right now to my mind. I said, you tormenting spirit, I curse you. I rebuke you right now in Jesus' name. And I started walking around my bed. I said, I rebuke you right now in Jesus' name. You have no authority in my house. You have no authority in my bedroom. You have no authority in my mind. You have no authority over my spirit and over my sleep life. I will not dream about my husband's dead body every night. I will not dream about the ventilator. I will not dream about the heart monitor. I will not dream about what I saw and what I heard. I will not be tormented in the middle of the night. Now you go in Jesus' name. I have authority over you. Now the peace of God that surpasses understanding, it does not make sense. It's not logical. A 33-year-old widow being able to walk through grief with the joy of the Lord is not logical. Being able to rest my head on that pillow and sleep is not logical. Being able to continue going and preach the word of God everywhere that I go is not logical. It's the peace of God that surpasses understanding. It doesn't make sense because I'm not producing it. God inside of me is producing it. And I rebuked it. And from that moment on, I never had another tormenting dream about my husband's death. You know that you've caught the spirit of faith. Do you want to know the key? You know you've caught the spirit of faith when you stop saying, I'm waiting for it, and you begin to say, I have it. The spirit of faith does not wait, baby. The spirit of faith says, I have it. I'm taking it by force. I'm taking it by force. When I woke up from that nightmare and the Lord said, are you done now? I woke up and said, yep, I am. I fought with him for a second and I said, nope, I'm taking it by force. Peace is mine because the Bible says so. The Bible says so. Well, you're just a Bible thumper. Yep, I am. How is it working for you? It's working great for me. Gone through cancer, gone through disease, gone through divorce, gone through suicidal thoughts, gone through depression, gone through eating disorders, gone through self-hate, gone through all of these things, still standing here, still alive. It's working great for me because this word is alive. And when you utilize this word, it works. It does not fail. It cannot fail. Because if it fails, then he's a liar. And God is not a liar. When you know you have the spirit of faith, the moment you know you have the spirit of faith is when you start saying, I have it. Not I'm waiting for it. Well, I'm waiting for my healing. I'm still waiting for the manifestation of that healing, sis. I'm going through it, man. I'm going through it. I'm waiting on that peace. I'm waiting on that rest, you know. I haven't really seen my bank account show it, but, you know, I know God can. I'm waiting on that. I'm waiting on it. I'm waiting on it. You want to know one of the biggest traps of the enemy? Keeping you in a perpetual cycle of waiting. If the enemy can keep you waiting all of your life, then he can keep you from doing anything. I told my crew the other day, I said, when are you going to stop making excuses? When are you going to stop procrastinating? When are you going to stop waiting for the perfect time to finally do the thing that God has told you to do? He told you to start the business. He told you to draw up the business plan. He told you to share the vision with people so they can help fund it. He told you to write that book. He told you to write that song. He told you to start going live and teaching the gospel. He told you to start that Bible study at your house. He told you to start going to the coffee house and inviting some friends over to just talk about the gospel. He told you what to do and you won't do it. And you're getting mad because you want clarity and understanding about your future. And God's done told you a plan, but you won't obey it. And you want another answer. But the thing is, God isn't bipolar. He's not bipolar. So he's not going to give you another answer. He done told you the answer, but you won't obey him. This is not an easy word. It's not an easy word. It's a hard word. But if the enemy can keep you waiting and keep you going, well, it's not the right time and I don't have the resources. I don't really have the following and nobody ever gives to my ministry and I don't have the finances and who's going to listen to me? I mean, they all know my past. How are they going to have any kind of respect for me? You sit in those excuses all day long and you will do absolutely nothing for God. You're mad at the fact that you've not done anything for God. Well, you keep doing that right there and you never will. We need your story. We need your dirt. We need your pain. We need the breakthrough that you went through. We need to know because we need help getting through our journey. And if we can hear how you made it, it will help us keep going. We need you. And you keeping your story from us is doing us a disservice. You quitting on your race it's hurting us. Your story is not just your story. It's our story. Your story could be the very thing that breaks me through my issue. Your history could be the very thing I need to get up and keep going, but you won't share it. And so I'm over here stuck because you won't share it. Get up and move. You've sat here long enough. You've wallowed in it for too long. You've been depressed for too long. You've made excuses for too long. You've procrastinated. You want to know what I have learned in the last 3 years of my life? Life is way too short, baby, and you don't know what's around the corner. I did not know that there was cancer 2 times. I did not know there was 3 surgeries. I did not know there was 6 months of chemotherapy. I did not know there was hair loss. I did not know there was a death of my husband. I did not know I would have to put him to rest. I did not know I would be a single mama. I did not know I would be the provider, the protector, and the head of my household. I had no idea these things were coming. And I'll tell you what, if I have not learned by now, procrastination is the biggest demon that the enemy can put on somebody other than religion, because I also think religion is the biggest demon that keeps people stuck from operating in the grace and the love and the power of Christ. Procrastination will keep you from being who God has called you to be. And you will keep making those excuses. And if anybody has any reason to make an excuse, baby, I've got my hands up, my feet up, everything up. I've got a reason. I've got a reason. If anybody could say anybody has a reason to sit down, take a break, stop ministry, and just take a moment to go off the grid, everybody would say, yeah, Alyssa Holt. Alyssa Holt, man. She can, if she just went silent for a year, we would understand. But when did God give me permission? And that's what I'm asking you. When did God give you permission to quit? When did he give you permission to stop? When did he give you permission to put a pause on the purpose that he has for your life? I'm going to let that sink in. I've been with my crew every single day since my husband has died. They have seen me in the good, bad, and ugly. And every person that joins my crew can go through our page and watch every single live feed all the way back. They can binge watch it and see. You cannot quit. You can't quit because we need you. You can't stop because God didn't say you could. And the biggest thing that could ever attack you truly is yourself. Can we stop like giving so much power to devils and demons? Can we just stop doing that? I'm like over it. I'm over it. Demonic stuff is real, okay? I'm not getting things twisted and saying it's not real, because it is. I've casted demons out of people before, and it was a very real thing. But demons are not more powerful than you when you have the Spirit of the Lord inside of you. But many times is what I'm saying is devils don't even have to do anything to you, because oftentimes you're the one fighting yourself. Devils are over here going, I don't even have to do nothing, because they're over there fighting themselves. They cut their self down. They stop their self. They procrastinate. They question their self. They make excuses. They're constantly confused. They're sitting over there spinning all the time. I don't even have to mess with them because they mess with their self enough. They're their biggest enemy. They're their biggest enemy. We don't even need to be possessed because we're so in our head on our own. And my question to you is, when are you going to stop? I'm looking at you the way that God told me. Are you done yet? Are you done yet? When are you going to move forward? When are you going to stop making excuses? When are you going to stop giving power to the thing that's happened to you? When are you going to stop being a victim in your own story? When are you going to stop? When are you going to become the voice? And it starts right here, you know, in the Word. It starts right here. Like, you will never know what you are capable of if you don't know what He said. It says in Romans 8:17, now if we are children, okay, are you a child of God? Do you believe you're a child of God? It says, now if we are children, then we are heirs. We're heirs, heirs of God and co-heirs with Christ, if indeed we share in His sufferings, in order that we may also share in His glory. In other words, you're an heir to everything this word says is yours. So you need to claim it and stop saying I'm waiting on it and start saying I have it. Second, it says that we share in His sufferings, meaning God never promised you it's not going to be hard. But He did promise you that you will also share in His glory. You'll also share in what this word says is yours. So yeah, there's going to be hard times, but God. Yeah, you may have to walk out grief, but you can still have joy at the same time. I know it sounds crazy, but you can still have joy while walking out a grief journey. Yeah, you may have to walk out disease at one point in your life, but you can still experience healing. Yeah, you may have some broken places in your life, but you can still find wholeness in Christ. You may have to go through some suffering, but the glory that you have available, the promises you have available, friend, you don't even know if you don't read. You don't even know if you don't read. You don't even know if you don't read. I was telling my crew right before I got on here, I've been live with them twice today. It's crazy because I've just been pouring out all day. But I told them today, I said, you know, when you're walking with the Holy Spirit, okay, communing with Him, spending time with God, okay, you have discernment. You have discernment. You have understanding. You cannot commune with God and not have understanding. You cannot talk to Jesus every day and not have wisdom. You cannot be in relationship with Him and not know Him and not know how to navigate the thing that you're in. Okay, I gave an illustration today. I said today, this happened. I am going to Canada for New Year's service. And I have lost my passport. Brandon had my passport, okay? And I don't know where Brandon put it. I didn't know where Brandon put it. I have been looking for my passport for weeks. And I have ripped open my house, my closet, tore up his office. I could not find it anywhere. I found his passport, but that does me no good, right? Does me no good. Zero good. So I'm like, oh man, I'm going to have to go to Miami. I'm going to have to get an expedited passport. That's just an inconvenience. When am I going to have time to go? How am I going to do it? And then the pastors were like, well, you can get across the border with your birth certificate. Well, I've got that, but I still like got this thing in my head. Like, where is my passport? I want to know where my passport is. Well, today I'm just sitting here reading my Bible. I've already looked everywhere for my passport, y'all. But I'm reading my Bible and I hear the Holy Spirit say, hey, you remember that passport? I'm like, yeah, I remember it. I wish you'd talk to Brandon about it because homeboy done lost my passport. I don't know where he put it. He didn't put it with his passport. What did he do with it, Lord? I wish you'd have a talk with him. He said, yeah, this is what you're going to do. He said, go to your closet, open up that safe, pull out that fireproof folder in there, and I want you to go through paper by paper, folder by folder. I said, yeah, I'm not doing that because I done did that like 5 times, God. I done looked there 5 times and that passport wasn't there. He said, like I said, paper by paper, folder by folder. So I went in there. I picked it up, pulled it down, paper by paper, folder by folder. Yep, it's not here. There's Brandon's passport. Don't know where mine is. Last paper in the file folder. My passport was wrapped inside of it in the very last paper of the file folder. And God was like, I told you so. My point is, this is my point. I'm getting to it. When you have a relationship with a living God, He will give you understanding about the smallest things in your life and the biggest things in your life. And you may think that it doesn't mean anything, but to God it means everything. And when you take time to commune with Him, when you take time to practice hearing His voice, when you take time to study His word, when you take time to practice obeying Him, when He asks you to do things, and you get up off of your behind and go do something inconvenient because you done looked there 5 times. You know what I mean? When you listen, He will speak. When you obey, He will continue showing you. He is a good Father. But you don't get that ear to hear Him if you're not even reading what He's already said. And so many times we want a fresh word and a fresh revelation. I want a now word, God, a now word. And we don't even know a then word. We don't even know the word that's already been in front of us for our entire lifetime. And God's like, I'm not speaking because I already spoke. I already spoke, Alyssa. I already spoke. If you will open up your word, I've already spoke. If you will just read your Bible, I've already spoke. You're crying and begging for answers, and the answer's already written. That's why I'm not telling you anything, because it's already there. It's already there. It's already there. It's mind-blowing to me how many Christians do not read their Bibles. It's mind-blowing to me. And I'm just going to get on a tangent right now. Can I just do that? Can we go ahead and spill some more tea? Because we're already here. Okay, so cheers. Again. I just told my crew right before I got on, please be aware. Please be aware. I'm going to say that one more time. Please be aware. Somebody type it down in the comments. Be aware of the voices that are speaking into your life. Just because a person has a blue check mark beside their name does not mean they are qualified to teach the word of God. Just because a person has 1 million followers does not mean that they are a follower of Jesus. Just because a person has been on all of the major Christian platforms does not mean they're anointed. Be aware of the voices you're allowing to speak into your life and stop being influenced because they're an influencer. Stop being influenced just because they're an influencer. The Bible says that false teachers are going to rise up in the last days. I don't get into all of the end time teaching because I just don't. It's just not a topic I like to teach on. But I'm here to tell you, if you got 2 eyeball sockets and you got 2 ears, it's pretty well known. We are wrapping this thing up. Jesus is coming back. And false teachers are everywhere. And TikTok has made them famous. And Facebook and Instagram has made them famous. And we will follow along like blind sheep because they got a blue check mark beside their name. And they got aesthetically pleasing things to look at. And they've made the Bible content instead of a covenant. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. People will be known by the fruit in their life. If you don't see fruit in their life other than a bunch of followers, then honey, stop following them. What's the fruit? Are they laying hands on people and seeing them healed? Are they casting demons out? Are they seeing people get saved in their services? Or is it just a great motivational speech? And y'all and me and a bunch of us have been guilty of entertaining this. We've been guilty of entertaining it. This word is not content. This word is a covenant relationship with the living God. And I am all about getting on here and preaching to the masses. I'm all about all of the followers. I'm all about it because I can push the gospel out. That's why I say to share this. And I'm going to say it right now. Push share right now. People need to hear this. Push share. But I'm known by my fruit, baby. And you'll see fruit because we're seeing supernatural healings in services that I'm at. And I'm not saying because of me, because it's the Jesus in me. It ain't about Alyssa Holt. Alyssa Holt's a nobody. And I'll say that 1,000 times over. I tried to do it on my own. Didn't work until I got out of my own way and let God do his thing. We're seeing demons cast out. I prophesied over a witch in Arizona and saw her share the love of Jesus with her. And she just was shook by the power of God. Tumors vanishing from people's bodies. 6-pound tumors vanishing from people's bodies. Powerful things happening. And what I love about it is I can't take credit for it. I can't take credit for the fact that the witch encountered Jesus. I can't take credit for the fact that I cast a demon out of someone. I can't take credit for the fact that the 6-pound tumor was there and when we prayed, the day later they got a CT scan and it was gone. I can't take credit for none of it. It was all Jesus. It's things that I cannot do. I can't do it. My point is, when we follow people and we're influenced by people just because they're influencers and they have a blue check mark, but they have no fruit. They're not seeing transformation. They're not seeing healings. They're not seeing things. They're not seeing salvations, which by the way, all of these things are not for you, friend. They're for the unbeliever. Healings, prophecies, people getting set free are for the unbeliever to believe. It's not for the church to sit around and just make, a good time off of the gifts. It's for the unbelievers to see that there is a living God and that he is real. So if you're following these people, look at the fruit in their life. Because we're seeing a whole lot of influencers teaching the word and making it content instead of covenant. And there's no power. A form of godliness that denies the power. A really good podcast, but it denies the power. A really cute sermon, but it denies the power. A really awesome cliche, but it denies the power. A really cool book cover, but it denies the power. A really awesome song, but it denies the power. And we're sitting here feeding it and feeding it and feeding it and feeding it because they got a blue check mark and they got 2 million followers. And so they got to be somebody because they got all these followers, but they really don't follow Jesus because they got no fruit in their life. And if you follow Jesus and you do what his Bible says, you'll have fruit produced in your life, and people will not be able to deny that you are a follower of Jesus, because signs, wonders, and miracles will follow those who believe. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm on a roll tonight. I'm on a roll tonight. I'm tired of celebrity Christian society. And I told the Lord, if you influence me, keep me humble. If you influence me, keep me humble. The moment I ever show any iota of this is about Alyssa Holt, I mean sabotage my entire ministry, Lord. I mean squash it down to the ground. Remind me that there was never an Alyssa Holt without a Jesus Christ. Remind me that I would have never gotten where I am if it weren't for you. Remind me that it was you that I had to call on in those moments. I'm sick of it. It makes me sick to my stomach. It really does. It makes me so sick to my stomach. So who are you following? Who are you entrusting? Who are you allowing to pour into you? I'll just say, like, if you want somebody that's going to be real, come join the crew. Join the crew, y'all. Get in my crew. We intercede. We have weekly teachings. We're on there every day having talks like this. And I'm just real, like, we need each other. We need each other. I want to see you empowered to walk out the call of God on your life. I don't want you in my life so that you can help elevate me. I want to be in your life to help elevate you. I want to see you walking out the call and the will and the purpose that God has placed on you. I want to see that you are not making excuses anymore. I want to see that the procrastination has been flipped in your life to having a purposeful life and a productive life. I want to see that you are not sitting in a victim mentality anymore. So it's $30 a month. And if you type the code newbie, hashtag new letter B, you get 50% off your first month. So it will be $15. Somebody type that down below. Hashtag new and then the letter B. And you'll get 50% off of your first month. But you are not alone, friend. You're not alone. You're not alone. And I know that the enemy, he's so loud, man. He's so loud. Like right now, it's 10:21 at night. It gets so loud, right? Like, have you experienced that? Like the voices of fear, the voices of doubt, the voices of chaos, the voices of hurt and pain, the voices of question. They get so loud at night. Oh man, I want to preach my word that I'm going to give to this women's conference this weekend, but I can't. I'm going to keep it quiet because we got some people on here that are going to be at the women's conference. If you're in the crew, I'll be live streaming the women's conference in there so they can see it. But nighttime is so loud, and you've got to find ways to muffle those voices. And one way that you do that, you know, because the thing that listen to this, okay? I'm gonna stop here, okay? Because there's so many ways I could go tonight, and I do need to, like, Douglas, Georgia at Free Point Church. Douglas, Georgia at Free Point Church. I'm so sorry, Patty. I'm so sorry. So listen to this. Okay, I started a new series in my youth, and I'm going to be putting out, y'all be watching my website, because I've got 4 series that I'm fixing to release on my website for youth pastors and small group leaders. And it comes with videos. It comes with a 15-minute video of me teaching small group discussion questions, a game to go with the lesson, a worship video, all kinds of stuff. But I just started I wrote all of the stuff myself. So it's really awesome stuff, and it's all been proven because we've done it in our youth group, and these kids were rocked by these series. So anyway, I started a series last week called Attitude Adjustment. Attitude Adjustment. Hey, Brunswick. And I talked about the fact that, has anybody ever seen the movie Inside Out? If you've seen Inside Out, give me a heart party. I love the movie Inside Out. Just because it has so many truths in it that are just hidden and you can learn from, you know? So in Inside Out, basically there's characters that live inside of each person's head. There's a green character, her name is Disgust. A yellow character, her name is Joy. A blue character, her name is Sadness. A purple guy that's named Fear. And a red guy that's named Anger. And essentially, your brain is like a computer, and they are in control of your emotions, and they get to help you process everything, and blah, 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 blah. And so we've started this series in our youth. Hey, Billy. We started this series in our youth called Attitude Adjustment. I've used this movie as a example, and I shared some clips of it and stuff like that. And I talked to my teens, and I'm going to stop here tonight, but I talked to my teens about how the voice that you pay the most attention to, is it disgust? Is it fear? Is it anger? Is it sadness? Is it joy? Is it peace? Is it rest? Is it positivity? Is it negativity? The voice that you focus on the most will become the loudest voice in your life. It will become the loudest voice in your life. And I challenged the teenagers. I said, I want to ask you, which one of these characters do you identify with the most? Which one do you identify with the most? And there were teens in the room that were like, oh, I am for sure sadness. Oh, well, I'm disgust all day, every day. Well, I'm anger. There ain't no doubt I'm anger. And I said, listen, and they were like, and we made it funny. We were like, look at your neighbor and tell them what character you think they are, you know, just kind of to show people not only, hey, Tim, not only make them aware of, oh, wow, if I'm identifying with that, that means that I'm giving power to that voice in my life. I am making it the loudest voice in my life. But also to show them what other people perceive them to be. And I want to give you that challenge tonight. I'm so sorry, Ray. I'm so sorry. I want to challenge you tonight. What are you giving the most power to? What voice are you giving the most power to? Because you don't have to focus on that thing. You don't have to give it a microphone. I told the teens, I said, maybe it's time to turn the microphone down. Maybe it's time to pass the mic. My husband used to have a thing on live called Pass the Mic. He would sing, and then he would invite other people to come on and sing, and we would listen to them instead of Brandon. That's actually how I met Brandon. I was on Pass the Mic, and I sang on his live feed, and we fell in love. Maybe it's time to pass the mic off. You've let anger hold the microphone too long. It's time to pass the mic to peace. You've let depression hold the mic way too long. It's time to pass the mic to joy. You've let hate hold the mic way too long. Pass it on. Pass it on to something else. Okay? You're the one that gives those things power. And instead of sitting around trying to act like, oh, well, they have power over me. No, you're submitting to that. You're submitting to it. You're willingly allowing them to be that voice in your life. At what point do you say enough is enough? At what point do you say, I can't do this anymore? At what point do you say, I am tired of being less than? I am tired of being a watered down version of what God has created me to be. I am tired of watching everybody else succeed while I sit over here paralyzed in fear. I am tired of seeing that person over there walk in all of the things that I feel like I can do, but I've not even tried. At what point? At what point? At what point is enough enough? And sometimes you just got to get sick and tired of being sick and tired. And you got to make a decision. I'm getting up. I'm shifting it. I'm passing the mic to a more powerful voice. The voice of God in my life. The truth of this word in my life. I'm not sitting down anymore. I'm not staying complacent. I'm not procrastinating. I'm not giving a care or a worry or authority to people's opinions about me, because the moment that their opinion becomes my business, it becomes my burden. And I'm not wearing people's opinions as burdens on my shoulders. Their opinion is not my burden. How they perceive me is not my business. How does God perceive me? How am I obeying him? How am I walking this thing out? How am I being truthful to myself? How am I remaining in character with what God has said is my identity? Because at the end of the day, I'm going to stand before the Lord and I'm going to be held accountable for every single thing that God has asked me to do. And my excuses of, well, God, you don't understand. I lost my husband, and so everybody told me I had to take a break. That's not going to be heard. He's going to say, but what did I tell you to do? Did I tell you to take a break? Did I tell you to stop? Well, God, you don't understand. I was abused for 5 years in that relationship, and I had a lot of trust issues, so I couldn't really step out in what you've called me to do because I just could not trust anybody. But didn't I tell you to trust me? Didn't I ask you to trust me? You will be held accountable for everything that you don't do and everything you do. And I want to see you live the best version of your life right now, in the midst of the process. Not after it's all over, but right now, because the joy of the Lord is your strength, because his grace is sufficient in your weakness to make you strong. And it is possible. Well, that'll do it. That'll do it. An hour and a half, y'all. It's been too long. It's been too long. We need to bring back prayer calls. So if you're watching the replay, if you're on right now here, do me a favor. If you're still on and you have not shared this, please share this so people can watch the replay. I would love you forever. I already love you forever. That's not even going to make a difference, but it would be helpful. It would be helpful. Share this because I know other people will need it on your feed. But if you're watching the replay or you're on here right now, prayer calls, what are we thinking? Do you think like a 9 p.m. prayer call, or do you think morning prayer calls? And if you're thinking morning prayer calls, I've found that the earlier in the morning they are, the better. So like 7 a.m. prayer calls, 8 a.m. prayer calls, like what are y'all thinking? Like, I don't want to do it if it's not going to thank y'all so much for sharing. I don't want to do it unless it's going to be something that's beneficial for everybody. 9 p.m. So y'all just drop ideas down below. I've got something in my eye. I think it's a piece of hair. 7 a.m. prayer calls. Thank you for sharing. I love you guys so much. Oh my goodness. 7 a.m. 9 p.m. Watch it be like 50-50. It will help you sleep peacefully. I do agree with that. But then also the morning prayer calls will help you get your day started amazingly. I had people back in the day say that I needed to do a morning prayer call once a week and a night prayer call once a week. But I know that's a lot. I don't know. I might do it anyway. In the crew, we do Wednesday morning prayer calls because we call it Warrior Wednesday. 7 a.m. would be fire. 9 p.m. I love it. Okay, well, I'll pray about it and we'll make a decision and we'll do it. Y'all set the notifications to get my live feed notifications so you guys can jump on here when I go live. I'm going to promise you that I will be on here way more often. No more am I going to shut up because of the opinion of others. And no more am I going to water myself down. I will be on here as much as I want to be on here. And baby, that's going to be a lot. So just get ready, okay? You're going to be sick of seeing my face. You're going to be like, oh my God, she's live again. Like, what else can she say? You're going to get sick of seeing me, friend. I'm going to be like, hey, I'm FaceTiming you, friend. You better get on here. You better talk to me, friend. I'm FaceTiming you. Better get on here. Yay, Craig. Free Point Church in Douglas. Thank you, Ray. I love it too. I know, Ashley, you're still not sick of me. I love that. My crew's not sick of me. So anyway, Free Point Church in Douglas, services at Friday at 7 p.m. and Saturday morning at 10:30 a.m. I believe. Man, I've got something in my eye. 10:30 a.m. and then Sunday morning I will be preaching as well. And I don't know what time their Sunday morning service is. It's Bloom Women's Conference. Yes, that's perfect. I love you guys so much. I will be on here a lot. You guys be on the lookout. Share this. Join me next time. I might come on here tomorrow night. You never know. I'm thinking that 9 p.m. is the time though. 9 p.m. is the time. So we'll just stick to that. If you see me pop on, it'll be 9 p.m. Otherwise, I'll do a morning prayer call every now and again. We'll see what that looks like. Check out my stories because I will make the announcements in my stories. I made the announcement in my stories an hour before I went live. I said I'm going live at 9 p.m. So if you watch my stories, you'll see I'm going to be live and you can get on here. Sunday service starts at 10 a.m. Thank you, Hannah. Well, I love you guys so much. I'm so excited that I got to be on here with y'all. Next time we'll have to get Instagram involved, but my daughter stole the other phone that I have because she wanted to go talk to her friend. So anyway, if you want to join the crew, there's my website, alyssaholt.com. Type in the password, hashtag new, the letter B, newbie, new, the letter B, hashtag new, the letter B as your coupon code and you'll get 50% off your first month. I love you guys. I hope you'll come join us and I'll talk to y'all later.